If you're saving for retirement by doing this one responsible thing, waiting until the end of the month and investing whatever's left, there's a high chance you're going to wake up in your 40s or 50s and realize you're behind, even though you saved consistently. Because in 2026, retirement isn't a math problem people fail because they don't care. They fail because they're using the wrong system. And today, I'm going to give you one simple rule that fixes it, so you stop guessing, stop relying on motivation, and start building a retirement plan that actually works. Quick disclaimer, this is educational, not personal financial advice. Now, retirement saving in the US has gotten weird. Costs are up, housing is expensive, insurance is up, and people are juggling debt, kids, and life. So what do most people do? They do what sounds reasonable. I'll start with a small amount. I'll increase it later. I'll invest when I have extra. I'll figure it out after I pay off everything. And the problem isn't that these ideas are lazy. The problem is that they usually create a plan that feels safe but grows too slowly. The number one way people save wrong, and why it's so common. Here's the most common wrong retirement strategy: saving a dollar amount instead of a percentage. People say, I put $200 a month into my 401k. I invest $100 a paycheck. I'll try to save $5,000 this year. That sounds fine until your income changes, your expenses change, inflation hits, and suddenly that fixed dollar amount becomes meaningless. A $200 per month contribution might be decent when you're 22, living cheap and single, totally inadequate when you're 35 and making more, dangerously low when you're 45 and time is running out. And because the number is fixed, it doesn't grow with you. So even though you're saving, your future lifestyle goal is moving away faster than your savings. The real enemy, time and consistency, not investment genius. Most people think retirement success comes from picking the perfect stock, timing the market, or finding a better investment. But retirement is mostly won by starting early enough, contributing enough, staying consistent through boring years, keeping fees low, avoiding panic selling. Here's why your saving strategy matters so much. If you're 25 and you invest consistently, you have decades for compounding to work. If you're 35 and you delay or undersave, you're not just missing money, you're missing time. And time is the one thing you can't refinance. The simple rule that fixes most retirement plans. Here's the rule. The 15-1 rule. Save 15% of your gross income for retirement. And yes, you can include employer match. Every time you get a raise, increase your retirement contribution by 1% until you hit that 15% level, or higher if you started late. That's it. This one rule fixes the biggest retirement issues because it automatically scales as your income grows, removes decision fatigue, fights lifestyle creep, and turns raises into wealth instead of just nicer life. And it's simple enough that you can actually stick with it. But 15% feels impossible. Here's how it actually works. If you're thinking 15% is unrealistic, you're not alone. So let's make this practical. Imagine you make $60,000 per year gross. 15% of that is $9,000 per year. That's $750 per month total going toward retirement. Now here's the key. You don't have to start at 15% tomorrow. You can start where you are, say 5%, and then use the 1% per raise rule to climb without pain. Example, you start 5% today, you get a raise in 6 months or 12 months, you bump your contribution to 6%, next raise 7%, and so on. This turns retirement saving into a long-term system, not a willpower contest. Also, many people forget this. Employer match counts. If your employer matches 4% and you contribute 11%, you're at 15%. So sometimes the fix is smaller than you think. The other wrong ways people save, and how the 15-1 rule protects you. Let's quickly hit the common traps. Trap A, I'll invest after I pay off all debt. If your debt is high interest, like credit cards, yes, that's priority. But if you're skipping a 401k match while paying low interest debt, you're often turning down free money. The 15-1 rule forces you to treat retirement like a bill, not an optional extra. Trap B, I'm saving but I keep pausing. Pausing contributions for months at a time destroys consistency. The 15-1 rule makes it automatic and predictable. Trap C, I'm too conservative because I'm scared. Holding everything in cash or super conservative funds for decades can quietly wreck your retirement. This rule doesn't tell you what to invest in, but it gives you enough contribution power that you're not relying on miracles. Trap D, I invest more only when I feel motivated. Motivation is unreliable. Systems are reliable. This rule makes retirement boring, which is exactly what you want. How to implement it in 10 minutes, no overthinking. Here's the step-by-step. Step 1, find your current retirement percentage. Check your pay stub or 401k portal. What percent are you currently contributing? Step 2, set your next target. If you're at 3%, don't jump to 15% overnight unless you can. Set a realistic next move, 3% to 5%, 5% to 7%, 10%. Step 3, automate the 1% per raise. Put a repeating reminder. After every raise, increase contribution by 1%. Or if your plan allows automatic escalation, turn it on. Step 4, keep investing simple. If you don't know what you're doing, don't get fancy. For many people, a low-fee target date fund or broad index-based options are a clean start. The biggest win is consistency and contribution rate. 2 important warnings so you don't do something stupid. Warning 1, don't ignore the rest of your life. If you have no emergency fund and one surprise expense sends you into credit card debt, that's a problem. Even a small emergency buffer can prevent you from raiding retirement accounts. Warning 2, don't copy someone else's number blindly. If you started late, 15% might not be enough. You might need more. If you have a pension, you might need less. But for most people, the 15-1 rule is a powerful baseline that beats guessing.